Okay. Go, go, go.
Do. Sick. We are freaking live. Welcome back to everybody to Roll Magic. We cast some spells and tell some tales. Today, we are joined by the brilliant yet skeptical Aaron. Woo!
Hello, hello. It is
Um,
I.
Liz will be here just streaming for us in the chat, so don't worry about her. But we embark on our solo session today. Is Glenn solos Hogwarts and destroys everything that we've built.
Let's go.
Alrighty. So,
Sure.
as we
Council
begin
has been.
today,
Sorry, go ahead.
can you just tell us, anybody out there that just coming in here for the first time, maybe just tell us a little bit about Aaron and maybe just a tad bit about Glenn, if you don't mind.
Yes. My name is Erin. I also go by Shamrock. I am obsessed with Harry Potter. And I like to read. And I play the character Glenn Goodwin, who also likes to read. She is very well read, and also highly skeptical
Yes,
of
yes,
everyone and everything around her.
of course. Nice.
Sometimes she goes to the max, to the extremes. So
Well,
we'll have fun with
that's
that today.
that's Glenn. She just always takes it to 100. If you don't know now, you know. I am your headmaster of traumas slash headmaster of emotion, Christian. Nice to meet you. Alrighty. So, as we left off last time in the group session, we had some solo sessions this week with Sage and Baz, and I gave them the decision to play out through this next week of where we left off at in our group session. If I'm not mistaken, from what we talked about, Aaron slash Glenn, you said that you would want to start on the same day, um, as usual, and kind of just play throughout each days through the week, right? Aaron, hey! I can't hear you.
Hi.
Hello.
That
I
was
haven't
also
seen
very
you in
loud,
so
though.
long. I'm
I gotta
sorry.
turn you down, or else you just don't yell anymore, please.
It'd probably be better to turn me down. I haven't seen you in so long.
Hello.
Hello. But as we talked about before, you said that you wanted to play a little bit in that day we kind of left off with after you guys' defense against the dark arts class, and then just skip through days through the week, little parts through the week of leading up to when we come back on Sunday, our group session.
Yes.
Sick. Alrighty. As you as we hop back into the world, you just finished up your first Defense Against the Dark Arts class for year three. Met Professor Noctis. And then found out some interesting stuff about people's fears while they faced the Boggart and the cabinet slash wardrobe.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, and you're just leaving Defense Against the Dark Arts class. That's your last um class for the day. Where would Glenn go off to or get up to?
Um, Dang. Well, she did promise a certain Hufflepuff that she would talk to him. So she would probably go to find Christian.
Nice. Our
Mm-hmm.
beloved Hufflepuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beloved.
Um, nice. You would go find out Christian, and I mean he just did the same class as you did. As you kind of finish up class and head out into the hallway, would you find Christian immediately, or would you wait a couple hours before going to get him, or what would you do?
Um, well, what time does our class end?
So I would say it's probably right around like 2:30 right now. So you kind of your classes for the day have ended at 2:30. You're free to do as you wish.
Okay, well then Glenn is going to go to the library and like work on homework assignments or like study or something for like 2 hours and then go find Christian.
Nice. So you go to the library. Of course, Mr. Aaron is just so happy you're there. As you head
We're
inside,
BFFs.
you guys are best friends, unlike somebody else. Um, you guys head inside, to the um, or you head inside to the library and study for a little bit. And just so you know, you are not approached or followed by any one of your friends as you leave to the library. It's kind of just Aaron on a solo dolo right now. As you put down that big ultimatum last time of we're gonna do one or the other. Is it gonna be an unbreakable vow or it's gonna be a obliviation? It's up to you. The choice is yours. Um, as you put down that ultimatum. The group's been, saying it's only been, half the day, or this happened this morning and now it's afternoon time. Um, what would Glenn kind of be feeling as she's in the library studying? Is there any certain kind of feeling she'd be feeling more specifically than others?
Hopefully she would have kind of calmed down a little bit so she's not like at 100. Instead, she's at like 85.
85, just a
Yeah.
little, a little simmer.
Yeah, so she's probably not thinking about too much. She had a little moment to meditate, so she's probably just like, don't think about anything right now. Just do your homework.
Yeah,
Just focus on this thing in front of you.
definitely, definitely. And you head off to the after you get done in the library, it's probably like a good around like 5:36, I would say. As you kind of take all your frustrations out on studying, it takes up quite a time as you kind of just want to forget about everything for a little bit and just put your mind into something that you love. As you continue to study. So yeah, you probably end up probably right about, yeah, books are definitely your favorite place. Um, you probably would end up around about 5:36, somewhere around there. When you get finished, do you send a message off to Christian?
Yes,
Okay.
5:30. I'll go ahead and send it off.
What exactly does it say?
I'm on my way to the entrance hall. Meet me there so we can have that talk.
He says you just get a message back saying, "Okay, I'm out at the Black Lake right now. If you just want to meet me there."
Even better.
Cool. You head off towards Black Lake. Second.
How many?
50.
I don't feel like counting to 50.
Well, all right. You kind of head out towards the Black Lake. Even though it is still nighttime, that summer heat is still kind of in the air. It's very kind of um humid. It's like a humid, dry heat as you kind of step outside. It's definitely calmed down from the afternoon and morning from when the sun came into the sky, but is now golden hour. It's the sun has set in the sky as you kind of walk out. You would see, of course, the as you walk out of the Great Hall and into the courtyard, you would see beyond the courtyard the vast, lush forests of the Scottish Highlands, and then to your left, you would see to your left, like across the lake, would of course be the Forbidden Forest as you head out there. But As you kind of head out of Hogwarts, you go down the hill towards the Black Lake, and Christian would be to your right. He's just kind of sitting in the grass, skipping a couple of rocks across the Black Lake as you approach. He does not seem to be, as you kind of walk up to him, he doesn't seem to be paying attention much, and doesn't seem to hear you coming.
Okay. Um, sorry. Note. Okay. Glenn would just like approach him, like just come and stand right next to him. Just walk up to him.
He said, "Oh, hey Glenn, you want to take a seat?"
You said we're at the edge of the lake,
Yeah,
like
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 a
on
little bit.
a
Or go ahead.
dock.
No, not more a dock, more just kind of sitting in the grass. Um, maybe like 15 feet up from the lake, maybe, or about 10 feet, I'll say. 10,
O-
15 feet, somewhere around there above right outside of the lake, as he's kind of picking up rocks and just kind of throwing it and skipping it across the lake.
Okay. So Glenn will say, well, actually I'd rather walk if that's okay with you.
Uh, yeah, yeah, sure. And he kind of gets up and dusts himself off. And you guys start walking, taking a little stroll next to the lake. Um, do you say anything first?
Um, yeah. So Christian, uh, did you have anything you wanted to say to me earlier?
Uh, I mean, not anything specific. It just seems distant between us, and you don't seem to like me too much. So I kind of wanted to maybe change that, or at least try.
Right. Well, you're right. I'm not really your biggest fan. Um, I don't dislike you. I just don't particularly care for you either. Um, I think it mostly just comes down to the way that you've treated Liv.
Yeah. Um, I'm sorry I didn't. Nothing was intentional. I w-
Yeah, that almost makes it worse, you know?
yeah, yeah. I understand. Um, so how's your classes been going so far? I've been seeing your tutoring posters around the school.
My classes are fine. I will just say, I'm not particularly interested in becoming best friends with you. Um,
Oh,
so we
uh,
don't have to do this whole thing right now.
are you okay?
Yep, perfectly fine.
Can you roll me a soul check? Christian's gonna attempt to
So
roll against you his heart. Oop, wrong dice. That's a 6 for Christian.
that's a 7 for Glenn.
Yeah, and even though like everything has happened and you're still trying to process everything, he definitely does not pick up on kind of the cues that something is indeed wrong. Just all right, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry to bother you. I just want you to know if you ever need a friend, I'm here. Or if you
Okay,
ever want to talk about anything.
Glenn is gonna kind of roll her eyes and say, I I appreciate that. Um, but it still stands. I'm really not interested in being your friend all that much. Um, but unfortunately, uh, for me, I guess fortunately for you, Liv does actually like you, and she cares about you for some reason. So I don't think I have much of a choice.
Listen,
s-
we, like you said, we don't have to be friends. If you truly do not trust me or believe me that much, it's okay. We can skip the whole trying to be friends thing. But if you ever wanted to talk or you need to talk or anything, trust me, I know about hardships and going through the thick of it, to say the least.
oh yeah, you're a werewolf, right?
Yeah, yeah, unfortunately. I mean, did you want to talk about that?
Um, no. I
Oh,
mean, unless you have something interesting to share about
can
being
you
a
make a
werewolf.
mind roll for me real quick?
12.
12. You see, as you're kind of walking, off to your left, coming kind of down from the castle through the sky, is the MacArthur twins on their brooms. You can see one of them's coming down pretty quick towards you guys, and Christian's maybe walking just a little bit faster than you ahead. Um, and it seems like the MacArthur twins are. Christian's not paying attention. He's looking off to his right to the lake. As the MacArthur twins are just kind of coming straight down the hill on one of their brooms and into Christian's path.
So it looks like they're going to collide,
Yeah.
basically. All right, well, I'm gonna take my wand out and cast Flipindo
On Christian or one of the
on
MacArthur twins?
Christian.
Okay. Um, you kind of pull out your wand and cast Blupindo again. As you kind of cast your magic, you can see kind of a more of a purple. I think you said purple, kind of like a purple glow at the tip of your wand as you cast Flipindo, and Christian would get hit with this and kind of fall down in front of you as MacArthur, one of the MacArthur twins, just goes completely over him and just says, "Sorry," as they fly past. Christian kind of says,
Wait,
"Uh,
Glenn is gonna yell up at them. Watch where you're going.
I can't control this thing. I'm sorry." And they kind of fly off into the sky, very shakily, as you can see. Um, you can see Christian kind of gets up from the ground. Uh, thanks. And he kind of gets up quick and starts brushing himself off like nothing happened. Uh, thank you.
Uh, don't mention it. Like, actually, don't mention it.
Yeah. Um, I won't. Um, well, you can go. I don't want to force you to be here or anything. Just thought it'd be nice to talk.
And then Glenn's gonna like, oh wait, we were already walking. So yeah,
Yeah.
Glenn's just gonna be like, all right, well, good talk. Okay.
Yeah. I'll see you later. And you guys kind of have that awkward thing of you both start heading up to the castle, like you're still kind of walking together towards the
Uh,
castle. He says, I'll go this way. See you later."
yeah, actually, you know what? I actually did want to finish the walk around the lake, so I'll go this way.
Oh, yeah. See you later. And he kind of starts walking more up towards the castle while you walk around the lake. Um, is there anything else you want to do for this day?
Finish my walk around the lake and try to clear my mind.
Okay. Um, Is there anything specific that will be at the front of your mind as you're would you be kind of like replaying the morning over and over again? Yeah. Is there anything specific that would stand out to you as you're walking around the lake by yourself and kind of just replaying that scenario over and over again of you guys in that darker room and the feeling of betrayal as Sage did something without really telling you guys?
Glenn would be trying to logic why Sage would share
Mm,
that information. And then, yeah, that's it basically.
yeah,
Trying to figure it out.
nice. And you try to think about it and like you said, logic the situation. Like, why would she do that? Maybe think about like other possibilities. Of is she being controlled or something like that?
Yeah.
No, she can't be controlled. Um, and just try to figure out the most logical explanation behind anything. I mean, and the thing that keeps coming back is there is no logical explanation. She just
She
trusted
just
somebody
did.
that you didn't. She trusted somebody without telling you and went behind your back while doing it, and didn't even tell you guys when she did it. So it just keeps kind of replaying over and over again. Make a magic roll for me real quick.
Um, 5.
5. Well, we'll try again a different day, I guess. Uh, but you finish your walk around the lake. I'm guessing still. Does like your like level of anger keep rising as like you keep kind of thinking and thinking about it over again as you're walking around this lake?
Probably actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're back up to like I want to say like 95. You're back up to like 95 now. Of just like why would she do this? Like what is the reasoning for her to run off and tell somebody something about our group that we obviously said we weren't going to tell nobody about, and she broke that trust. Um, and just keeps kind of replaying. But you kind of finish your night as the as you finish your walk around the lake. The sun has now went out of the sky, and the moon is quickly rising as it turns to nighttime. As you kind of finish up your walk and head back up to Hogwarts. You got about an hour left if you wanted to, about an hour and a half left if you wanted to go anywhere specific within the castle before you call it a night.
No, Glenn will use that hour and a half to meditate and try to go from 95 back to a reasonable level.
Nice. Do you want to roll for it?
Mm, mm-mm.
Okay. As you kind of go back into your room and calm down, and funny enough, you do still share a room with Sage.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Mhm.
so I would say she has not came into the room yet. As you sit down, um, you would kind of hear the door open. Are you like with do you have your eyes closed like facing towards the window of the moonlight coming in?
No. So when Glenn first comes in the room, she'll like touch the crystals that she has collected.
Mhm.
Um, and just go and sit on her bed.
Gotcha.
That's it.
I mean you was here as you're kind of sitting there with meditating, you would see the door to your right swing open as Matilda kind of comes in. Hey, hey Glenn. Whew. Conley, I tell you this. Moving staircases, it's very difficult to traverse this place. She kind of stops and throws her bag on the bed next to you as you guys kind of share opposite bunks. She throws her bag on the bed and kind of is sitting across from you on her bed. She says, "So, uh, how you doing?"
And then Glenn's gonna like open one eye
Yeah,
and look at Matilda and say, "You know that I don't like to be interrupted while I'm meditating.
yeah.
Please,
Sorry,
Matilda, not
sorry.
today."
She's sorry. I'll be quiet over here in the corner. Um, and she can kind of see. She's like, as you kind of go back, close one of your eyes and try to get back to that Zen state, you can hear like the sound of like a zipper slowly opening in the background. And she like attempts like open her book bag and pull her books out, but trying to be like as quiet about it as possible, but just failing, just absolutely. As you just hear a like just her just
Just
trying to
awful.
slowly open the zipper.
It just makes it worse.
Yeah. Do you say anything to her?
I wouldn't say anything to her, but I would just go like, "Ugh," and then
And she kind
just
of stops, starts like looking around, like is something wrong. Okay, and she starts to go back and slowly open it again. Um, and you can see like gets up from her bed and like slowly tries to walk across the room, but like the wood under her is just creaking so loudly. She just takes a little, and she's like walking across this wooden floor, and the floorboards are just loud as heck. Um, she says, "I'm sorry. Are you okay? Oh, never mind. I'll go lay down. Okay." She gets back over to her bed. Um, how long do you spend meditating?
I don't think any Zen was achieved on
Achieve.
this night.
And you you kind of give it up, and lay down. As you kind of lay down and you're resting, you can hear the door to your room open up again. Um, and you could have guessed that that'd be Sage walking into the room, not saying anything, not really doing anything. Just kind of, well, she's heading up to her bunk. You guys are like a bunk bed, so she has the top, you have the bottom,
Mhm.
as she's kind of climbing the ladder to get onto the bunk above you.
Flame would just roll over.
Yeah. Um, and she sees that as well, and she just does not try to approach you at all. But you can hear like her moving around and rolling around in her bed, above you. It's like the mattress kind of does like a little squeak here and there. But the next morning comes.
Try again in the morning.
Yeah, try again in the morning. The next morning comes as you is now Wednesday. Um, you know that Sage and Neil have to, or Sage and whoever has to make a decision by Wednesday.
Huh,
Um, or go
I'm
ahead.
sorry?
I mean, not Wednesday, by Tuesday, the next week.
Okay.
So it's Tuesday when you guys had your discussion. They have to. You said a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they have to make their decision by next Tuesday.
Okay. Okay.
Um, and you wake up in the morning as your usual and um get your crystals all lined out as the sun's kind of coming into the room. Would you go crisscross applesauce in front of the window as the sunshine kind of comes in?
Yep.
Um, you lay down and kind of set your crystals all around you. Um, laying down, just kind of resting before class starts for the day. I'm not gonna run through classes or anything with you, but you go to your normal classes, probably potions and herbology. Um, and just learn, just a little bit more that day. It is now again 2:30. You kind of have the rest of your day to chill if you'd like to, but you do get a message kind of after your last class for that day. It's from your brother Ozzy. He says, "Hey Glenn, hope you're having fun in Ravenclaw. I tried to come and visit you the other day, but the door wouldn't open and it asked me to answer a riddle. I don't know. But I hope you're doing well. I'm having lunch in the Great Hall if you want to come and join."
Okay. I'll go and have lunch in the Great Hall.
As you head to the Great Hall, and let me change this ambiance.
I don't even have it on.
I bet you don't.
She's very low.
I bet you don't.
I'll turn it up.
Great. Uh, I should really save this one. I just always forget.
Oh, the crickets are gone.
Yep. There we go. As you kind of head down to the Great Hall at lunchtime, you'd see kind of your brother Ozzy over at the um you see your brother
Hufflepuff.
Ozzy over at the Hufflepuff table. Say what would you say?
I was just saying Hufflepuff.
Oh, yeah, Hufflepuff table. As you kind of sit down, would you go over to the Hufflepuff table?
Yeah, I would.
Before you walk over there, can you make a mind roll for me real quick? Hold on.
7.
7. You would see at the over at the Ravenclaw table your friends Basilton, Christian, Sage, Liv, all kind of gathered at the Ravenclaw table, having lunch and talking and stuff like that. Um, and I'm actually gonna roll something here. Ugh. And you would see kind of Christian over at the Ravenclaw table. He's like the one to kind of spot you, but he doesn't say anything to the others. He just kind of looks at you, gives you a nice smile, and then looks back to the group. Would you head over there or no?
No.
Yeah, I think so. You head over to the Hufflepuff table. And Ozzy kind of looks, he says, "Hey, Glenn." And you can see he's like with a group of boys, his age, and Hufflepuff as well, as they're all kind of sitting there. He says, "Hey, Glenn, how are you?"
Good. Move over.
Oh, okay. And he scoots over, making a spot for you to sit down with his friends who are a lot younger than you. Um, he says, "Okay, that's Gregory, and this is Benjamin." They both say, "Hello."
Hi, I'm Glenn. I'm Ozzy's big sister.
He says, "You're friends with Christian, right?"
Who?
Christian, the Hufflepuff chaser?
I wouldn't say we're friends, but I know him.
Oh, he's really cool. He showed us around Hogwarts the other day. We got lost on our way to potions.
Cool. So Oz, how have classes been?
Uh, they've been okay. Just trying to get around, and this place is so big. It's hard to map everything, but it's all right. Um, Professor Blackstone's pretty hard.
Okay, gross. I don't want to hear that. Well, if you ever need help with any of your classes, the first place to look or first place to ask. I might even be willing to give you some of my notes.
What'd you
Are
wait?
you
What do you think I said? What do you think I said? I
um
said Professor Blackstone is hard. It's pretty hard.
oh, I thought you said pretty hot.
No, no,
That's why I was like, okay, well,
no.
oops.
Oh, he says Professor Blackstone's pretty hard.
Okay,
Um,
well, that's fine because what I said still applies.
yes, that's what I was. That's why I was laughing. Anyways, he says, "Did you have this much trouble in your first year?"
With certain classes, where they were a little more difficult, but you study and practice and you get better.
I wish I was as smart as you.
Well, you're plenty smart. I mean, you're here.
Hey, have he kind of stops, well, not stops, but he kind of like scoots a little bit closer to you and whispers in your ear. Says, Have you ever snuck into the forbidden section before?
Um, don't tell mom and dad, but yes. Although I do not condone it, and
Ooh.
it's much easier to get what you want when you have a pass. So I would highly recommend that you attempt to get one and not sneak in.
Only second. I can't get a pass until I'm a second year.
Well, then you don't need to be in there until you're a second year.
He says, but some of my friends are sneaking in there tonight. Should I get? Can
Well,
I go?
you should let your friends sneak in because there's a
But
very
you
good
snuck in.
chance they'll get caught. But I didn't get caught.
I'm not gonna get caught either. I'm smarter than you.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. But you guys finish up a nice lunch together.
I'm gonna tell him that if he gets caught, I will tell our parents that I told you not to go.
Okay. Roll a D100 for me real quick.
Hi.
What was that?
Hi.
With all these emotions and flaring up, um, you feel almost like a surge of magic for a second, but then it slowly, it's like as soon as it comes, is as soon as it goes away. Um, as you're kind of sitting there, I almost feel like you got lightheaded for a second, almost like almost overwhelmed with this amount of this powerful magic, but slowly starts to dissipate. As soon as it came, is as soon as it goes.
Does it feel like an external thing, like somebody cast something on me or something from within me? And
Something from within you, definitely.
okay.
But as soon as it comes, is as soon as it goes. As you kind of sit there and think about all these emotions and everything that's happened. Um, but you finish up lunch with your brother. You still haven't. He still kind of is thinking about if he's gonna sneak into a forbidden section, but hasn't told you anything specifically. But he says, "All right, I have to get to flying with Professor Weasley.
Oh, sure. Oh, but hey, can you take care of this for me?
Uh, what?
I'm gonna reach into my robes and pull out the pygmy puff that
Yeah, that Battleton gave you."
mhm.
He says, "What is it?"
It's a pygmy puff. It's a miniature puffskein. They'll eat just about anything, so I'm sure you won't let it starve to death, but you just need somebody to talk to him, and I just don't have the time for that. And I figured you could use a little friend.
He says, "Where'd you get this from?"
Oh, I got it from a friend.
Oh,
I'm sure they
okay,
won't mind if you take care of him for me.
okay. Um,
His name is Monkey, but you can rename him if you want.
that's what you named him.
Yes.
Okay, I'll, I'll, I'll. Thanks. And he puts it in his robe as well, and you can see him run off with some of his friends.
Bye, Gregory.
Uh,
Bye, Benjamin.
bye. As they run off. Um, you get up from the Hufflepuff table, and I'm guessing head out of the Great Hall.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you
Yeah.
give any looks, or you're just straightforward?
Yeah. Yeah. No looks.
Um,
I've already decided what I'm doing today, and we're not deviating to talk to anybody.
yeah. And as you kind of get up and head out of the Great Hall, you get a message from Basilton, just saying, "Hey, hope you're doing well. If you ever want to talk, I'm here." Do you send a message back?
I would send a message back. Um, there's not much to talk about besides the terms of the vow, and I'm fine. So no, let's switch that. I'll say I'm fine, and there's not much to talk about besides the terms of the vow.
Gotcha. And you send that message back, and no message back after that. I have something planned, but is there anything you want to do for the rest of the day?
We can go with DM suggestion.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, we're gonna fast forward time a little bit. Um, to the end of the night. As
Okay.
you probably spend your day in the library or off studying someone or tutoring somebody. Um, we fast forward to the nighttime. Right around 8 o'clock, the moon is now in the sky and the sun has dwindled out all the light within it. You get a message from Neil, asking to meet you at the
Forgot
wooden bridge.
forgot about this. Um, I'm gonna send him a message back and say, "Will this take very long? I have something to do."
He says, "I don't." You get a message back maybe a couple minutes later saying, "I don't know. I just wanted to talk to you. If you want to talk a different day, we can. But I would really like to talk to you."
Oh, Glenn is gonna go. She's
Okay.
gonna get all her stuff. She's gonna take an extra wand with her, by the way.
Okay. Um, and as you head out to the Great Hall, um, not Great Hall, the wooden bridge, that Neville blew up his seventh year, it's already now rebuilt, and as you kind of step outside, you would feel, um, just a nice steady wind kind of going over the bridge as you look out to your right is the Scottish Highlands and the forest and trees for as far as the eye can see, and your left is the Black Lake, the long drawn out Black Lake, um, leading off to the Forbidden Forest. But as you kind of step out, um, the moon is high in the sky, and you see Neil kind of like maybe 20 feet away from you down the bridge. Nah, it's probably more like 10 feet away from you down the bridge. He's kind of like leaning out, looking at over the Scottish Highlands as we'll say two hippogriffs fly out of the forest and over in the sky. Um, and he kind of looks up. I'm over here.
Then it's gonna slowly approach him and say, "Okay, so what's this about?"
And he goes from like leaning down to kind of he turns around and puts his arms on the window, leaning on it. So, um, I thought we'd better if me and you just talk.
Okay, so talk.
What is your goal in all this?
I'm sorry.
What is your goal in all this?
What do you in all of what?
The obviously the ultimatum that you've given me in Sage and your friends.
Okay. Well, I just need to know that you won't share this information with anybody and you won't use it to hurt us. That's it.
He takes
I
a
mean,
deep breath.
ideally,
Oh, go ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say he takes a deep breath when you say this and turns around and looks back out towards the woods, not looking at you while talking, but he says, "So, unbreakable vow or obliviation, that's your big resolution?"
Well, they seem to be the most logical options for me.
So let's say I did this unbreakable vow. Wouldn't my trust still be questioned?
Well, You seem like you're okay, mentally stable and sound, as far as I can tell. So I don't think that you have any strong desire to die. So
So my trust would still be questioned. Oh, I'm just asking because you're asking for a big risk for me and a big sacrifice for me. But
what?
would
I'm
my
sorry?
your my trust would still be questioned, I'm assuming, that you would ask for such a big and a huge life changing sacrifice from me. But as soon as I do that, will my trust still be questioned? Will you still question me on who I've talked to and what I know and things of that sort? Yes, Niels Ravenclaw.
Dang. Okay. Well, then what I was going to say next doesn't make much sense. Um, okay. Well, I'm not sure if it's just because it's late and you're tired, so you misunderstood what I said. Um, but I'm saying that there's no reason to doubt that you won't share the information or use the information to hurt us once you've made an unbreakable vow. Because if you do, you would die.
Yes, I understand what an unbreakable vow is.
And you don't seem like you'd like to die.
I would not.
I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not the greatest judge of, people's emotions or whatever, but, just from my observing you, um, you know, this seems like it would be the best solution because Sage does like you, and if we have to obliviate you, she's probably not going to be happy about it. But again,
So what happens if somebody else from the group is told somebody?
I'm sorry?
What happens if somebody else any kind of not like bucks at you, but like gives a little more aggressive tone in a sense? But he says, "So what happens if somebody else from the group tells somebody else? Would you
And then
just obliviate them or do another unbreakable vow? How
Glenn,
would you solve that problem, Glenn?"
Glenn's gonna kind of like twitch a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
it bothers me that you seem to think that you are a part of this group already, Neil.
Damn. He says, "I know."
You've just been here on the peripheral, honestly.
So, what if even if I did get obliviated or if I went through all of this, I still wouldn't be part of you guys' cause or adventure or whatever
Adventure.
you say that you're doing? If I
Well,
went through this whole big sacrifice, if I put my life on the line for you all, I still wouldn't be part of whatever you have going on.
listen, the four of us have been through literal hell, okay? We have
I understand.
actually killed for each other, protecting each other, okay? So it doesn't matter how much you know, you haven't been a part of it.
I completely understand. So, if you do not want me a part of it, why give the option of an unbreakable vow? Why just not obliviation?
Because I love Sage. She is my friend whom I care deeply for. And she, for some reason, unbeknownst to me, has decided to trust you. So, if we want to keep you, which she does, we have to make sure that you can't use this information to hurt us. Because let's be honest, Neil, it's kind of what you do. Do you realize how many people you've probably hurt sharing their information
Yes, and that is
unknowingly?
yes, and that is a burden that I bear alone.
Mhm.
But I gave you my word, didn't I? When you first came to me asking all those questions about such things, did I go and spread that information around?
You probably just didn't find someone who was willing to pay enough for it.
It's always something else with you, Glenn. If it's not one thing, then it's the other. What type of friend does that make you? You see, he kind of gets upset a little bit and not cry or anything like that, but just like trying to process his thoughts for a second. And he says, "What kind of friend does that make you if this is the only solution for one of your friends actually trusting someone? What kind of friend does that make you to ask one of your friends friends one of your friends
Pull it
friends
together.
to ask one of your friends friends to make that such of a sacrifice? You love talking about that you're doing all this for your friends, and you love talking about that you're protecting everyone. But is that really what's going on? Or are you just scared for everyone to know the things you've done?
And then Glenn is going to like pause and like look like she's actually thinking about the question and then say, "What kind of friend does it make me?" Well, I guess it makes me the kind of friend who would do anything to protect her friends, even if it means protecting them from themselves.
And who says the sage needs protecting from you? I mean, from herself, sorry.
Well, it wouldn't be from herself right now. It would be from you, potentially.
Look, I get it. You're untrustworthy of people other than your friends, and that you want to protect them at all costs. What I don't want to. This has almost, of course, it has a little bit to do about Sage, but this has nothing to do with wanting to be there for Sage and so. Sorry, no, I take that back. Hold on. This has nothing to do about Sage. Yes, of course, it has something to do with Sage, of course, but I would like to help you all because it's the right thing to do. Let me prove to you that I can help, that I can be a valuable asset instead of just obliviating me or making an unbreakable vow. What happens if somebody else? What happens if Liv or Basilton slip up and tell somebody? Are you going to make them the person they told you an unbreakable vow or obliviation as well? Then who are you?
Okay, okay. Is it Glenn's gonna say, "Is it my turn to talk?"
She says it out loud.
Yes.
He says, "Yes, go ahead." Sorry.
Right. That was a very nice speech. Um Unfortunately, emotional manipulation doesn't work very well on me. Um so I guess I'll say well, let's just try to answer your questions, right?
Say it one more time.
We'll try to answer your question.
All right.
So what happens if Liv or Baz or Sage slip up and let this information out? Would I be willing to, or would I try to have them swear an unbreakable vow or obliviate them? Yes. And what was your dang, what was the other question? I can't remember. Dang.
Um, Shit, I'm forgetting now too. Hold on.
There was it was oh yeah, no, okay. So you want for me to give you the opportunity to trust you. Um Unfortunately, I just don't, you know? That's really hard for me. And the information you have, it's not like, "Oh, Glenn has a crush on the Gryffindor Seeker, okay? If that was it, I wouldn't care. This would be nothing. We would never have gotten to this point. There would be no conversation. But my friends and me, we could die if you chose to share this information or use it in a specific way.
So you don't want any help at all. You got this.
I'm sorry.
Right?
I'm sorry. Are you okay? Are you
Yes.
well? How is that what you took from what I just said? I don't want any help. I do want help. I want help from my friends. I want help from my friends and where they seek to get information from. If all Sage wanted was to ask you, "Hey Neil, do you know something about this?" Listen, Neil. Um, did you have anything else you wanted to say?
Yeah. Just that whatever decision that you think is the best, I will go with it. I'm sorry for causing so much trouble. Have a good night. And Neil goes to kind of walk off and back into the castle.
Glenn learned her lesson from her walk with Christian and is gonna let Neil walk first.
Nice. And he kind of walks back into the castle and to the Ravenclaw common room. Um, would there be any sort of specific thing on Glenn's mind after that conversation?
She would probably be pretty upset. And so I'm going to say that she would just like slash her wand and I don't know, just it's like a slash.
Nice. Not casting any spells or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Um,
Like that is a violent reaction to an upsetting conversation.
make a mind roll for me real quick.
10, 10s across the
You see
board.
is coming up from like the other side of the bridge, not the one towards the castle, but the other side coming up. I think that's towards Hagrid's hut. Um, it's Charlie and George kind of walking onto the bridge. Oh, hello, Glenn. And they kind of
Hi.
spot you on the bridge.
What what are you doing?
We were visiting Hagrid.
Oh, okay.
Is everything okay?
Yep.
Oh, all right. Have a good night, Glenn. And they kind of walk into the castle.
I thought you were gonna make me roll again.
No, I would never.
Yes, you would.
Uh, but you is there anything you'd like to do after that, or it's time to go back to the common room?
What time is it?
Right around 8:30.
Oh yeah, because it was almost time for bed.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go back to common room.
The next day rolls around, and still you haven't really heard anything from Sage or Neil or Basilton or Liv or Christian. Um, another day spent by yourself. I think this is the first time in a long time since you've gotten to Hogwarts where you truly been on your own for a little bit. Um, not to say you're shunned from everybody, but you're isolated. Um,
Lynn's mentality right now is like, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. I just have more time to study now.
yeah.
Like I'm fine.
Oof, compartmentalizing. Um,
She's not fine.
of course, of course. Um, he says, or not he says, but you finish up your day, and like I said, it's another day by yourself, isolated from everybody. But you go to your regular classes like normal, unless you choose not to, which I doubt you will. But you go to your regular classes like normal, and would you be studying that day?
I study every day.
Okay, but is there anything specific you'd be studying?
Well, it would depend on I think on the classes that I took that day. Whatever the classes were, that's what I would
Okay,
be studying.
gotcha. Would you have been studying that mind magic book at all?
Yeah,
Go ahead and roll
that
me
is
a
a recurring
yeah. Go ahead and roll me a mind roll.
mind.
Yeah. Hold on, let me grab a hoodie. It's cold in here.
Sorry. Okay, mind magic. Let's go. Let's go. See, Avery is just making up for all of the awful rolls that I had in the last session. That's it. That's it. Hey, chat. How's it going? Um,
All right. Sorry, I had to put on a hoodie. It's cold as
look at
mess in here.
that, Christian. Look at that.
What? Oh shit, 14.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? Okay. Within this My Magic Bull, My Magic, within this My Magic book, is there anything specific you study more than others? Any spells you focus on more than others? I think
Obli-
you know what I'm getting at.
Obliviation.
Yes.
Obliviation. Yes.
Um, I'm gonna give you, if it comes down to it, and you do choose Obliviation, I'm gonna give you a +2 to whenever you make that roll.
+2.
Um, yes.
Okay.
But I will not. Whenever you do make that roll, I will not allow you to use your mind magic modifier. I mean your magic modifier. Um, only reason being is basically what is your magic modifier?
+1.
Okay, well you can add one more onto it. You will be making a magic roll still, but
It's just a
with
really
it
high level
being a
spell.
seven, with it being a really high spell, um, I will say it being a really high spell, I'm gonna say it kind of cancels your modifier out. So
I will
you
accept
still have
this.
you're still gonna have your +1 on your magic rolls, but when you do make that spell in specifically, I'll give you another +1, which will be a +2 whenever you do choose to make that spell.
Okay. So if I end up okay, out of character, out of game,
Mhm.
and if I choose to not use the spell now, like for this situation, will I still be able to use it for if I wanted to use it later on? Like if I saved it for like, I don't know,
Yeah,
our fifth
I'll say
year or
it's.
something.
I would say you can. Yes, you'll be able to save it, but it's one. I'm gonna give you one use. It's basically a one use only thing.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can use the +2. Any other time you try to cast Obliviation, if you do not choose to do that, then um,
I just
yeah, it'll be a disadvantage.
okay.
Um,
This is acceptable.
wait a sec. Hold on.
I haven't
Hold on. Wait a second.
Go ahead. I have
I might
another question when you're finished.
I might veto what I just said. Hold on a second.
Okay. Mm,
I'll do this. I'll do this.
mm-hmm.
I'm not going to. If you choose to use it later, I'll say it's gonna be a straight magic roll with your modifiers. If you choose to use it later. Um, if you choose to use it now, well, not now, but when the time comes, if you choose to use it, I will allow the +2 with no disadvantages or anything. That's up to you. And I have a reason why, but I can't tell you yet. Sorry.
Okay, you said if I choose to use it later, it would just be a straight magic roll.
Yes.
Okay, so no disadvantage, just a straight magic roll.
No disadvantages, just a
Okay,
straight magic roll.
okay,
And you can use your magic modifier, whatever you have. Whether that be a +1 or whatever your magic modifier is.
okay. My follow-up question was,
Mhm.
let's say that we do end up obliviating Neil,
Yes.
um, or attempting to obliviate Neil. If I fail on that magic roll, does it just not work, or is Neil fucked? Like, do I
I'm gonna
like?
say I'm gonna say you don't know.
That's cool.
I'm gonna say
Okay,
it's uncertain.
all right.
I will when that time comes, I will ask you a question, and depending on your answer will be what happens.
Okay,
But
something to consider.
I can't ask you now.
Okay.
Um, but you go about that next day, just isolated, like I said, of course. Um, what is it obvious on Glenn's face that something is wrong, or is she just kind of cool? What what is Glenn's plan for this next day?
Glenn is going to go talk to Professor Black, I think it was.
Huh?
Who whoever it was that I originally talked to about the tutoring thing.
Professor Black.
Okay.
And you find her in her classroom. She's kind of just finished up her last class of the day. As you walk up to her classroom, students are kind of coming out of it as she's finished up her last class for the day. You walk in and uh she's kind of like at the board, just like damn, it's a long day. Not like breathing heavy, but just kind of like relaxing in a sense. And she's putting up her next lesson for that next following morning on the board. But as you walk in, she turns around. Oh, hello, Glenn. How are you? Miss Goodwin, how are you?
I'm fine, Professor Black. Thanks for asking. I did have a question for you, though.
Of course. What is?
So you know how I started tutoring students at the end of the last school year?
Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah, so I was just wondering if you had talked to the other professors um about me possibly receiving some extra lessons.
Um, yes. Professor Noctis seems to be okay with that. Is there anything specific any class specific that you'd like to focus on more than others?
Um I think charms and transfiguration.
The transfiguration. Um, Definitely a yes for charms. Unfortunately, you'll have to talk to Professor um McGonagall as that is her class. If you want to focus more on transfiguration things. Um, and of course she's the headmaster, so or headmistress, sorry.
Headmistress.
She's the headmistress, so she has a little, of course, a little bit more pull than I have. So you'd probably have to ask her that directly, if that's
Okay.
okay with you.
It'll have to be, huh? Mhm.
Yeah, well, of course. How are you doing there? Is everything all right? I've noticed that you haven't been sitting with your usual group in class.
Lynn is gonna kind of huff. Um, mostly at the fact that that everyone she encounters is always like, "Hey, how are you doing?"
Yeah,
And they seem to genuinely mean the question, and Glenn does not want to answer the question.
yeah,
Um, uh, but so she'll just huff and say, "I'm fine. We're just having a little disagreement right now. But it'll be fine soon, I'm sure."
yes. Of course. Sorry to. I don't mean to pry or anything. Just don't seem like her usual self. It's all. But who does nowadays? I guess, right? Um, is there any specific spells you want to start with? That I can teach you next week?
Um, well,
For
Glenn
now, it will just.
definitely. Okay, thank you.
For now, it will just be third year spells, as that is your curriculum.
Yeah, so Glenn definitely has gone over the syllabus for the school year. Aaron, however,
Oh,
has not.
let me give you
Um,
kind of like. Is there any spells you maybe like offensive spells or defensive spells or utilities?
yeah, let's see. Um, maybe Glacius?
Glacius?
I think maybe Glacius.
Glacius? Yes. All right, Glacius. Yeah, I can teach you that tomorrow if you have time.
Oh, I have nothing but time.
All right. Just want to make sure you're okay, right? Sorry to
Yeah.
put. And you gotta make that face where like, she says, "I'm sorry to. I don't mean to pry, but you are one of the brightest witches of your year, so do not want your academics to suffer as well."
Mm, as good as I could be, all things considered.
Yeah. No problem. Well, I will meet you here tomorrow, and we can practice the spell.
Okay, great. Thanks. Thank Glenn will just hop up
Um,
and leave.
nice. Um, make just a flat 2d6 roll, just a flat one.
R
10, nice.
10. That's a 10.
Um, you would see that one thing you notice is different about the halls and Ravenclaw more specifically is that Theo McVale is no longer at the school. Kind of some of the whispers and rumors that you've heard, um, is that he's been gone for some reason. Not to say he's transferred. Matter of fact, I'll take that back. Don't write it down yet. Don't write it down yet.
Okay.
You notice that there has been a lot of whispers that he might be transferring schools. He's not gone yet. A lot of whispers that he might be transferring somewhere else.
Okay.
Um, Durmstrang has been the number one uh kind of contender for that.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool, cool. Keeping up with the rumor mill.
Yes. But that's kind of what you hear. Of course, you've heard all week about Amy and the fact that
She's a
she,
whore.
yeah, she's a whore, and that she's been going around with all these dudes. Puberty really hit her hard, I guess.
Glenn is going to help that rumor, if that's at all possible.
Yes, it is, but I'm gonna need help spread. What would be the rumor to help spread it? What would be the role to help spread it? Hold
Didn't
on.
she say she was trying to get with Christian and somebody else? Who was the other one?
Yes. No, Neil. Sorry.
And Neil. Okay.
This is gonna be a solo roll. I need you to roll. The rumor will get spread, but the roll is gonna be for if how much your involvement is in spreading this rumor. How big is your involvement?
Dang it.
5. How would you be spreading this rumor?
If I like heard people whispering about it, like
Mm.
in the hallways or whatever, I would just kind of come up to them and say, are you guys talking about Amy? Whatever her last name is.
Yeah, and this we'll say this is two Slytherin girls. Say, yeah, have you heard about this?
Yeah, I'm actually friends with Sage and Liv, who are friends with Neil and Christian, who she was um allegedly trying to get with. And all I
Wow,
can say
that
is it's true.
really wow. You can see one of the Slytherin girls kind of comes. Another girl like in passing from Gryffindor says, "Really, you had that?" She kind of stops what she's doing and comes up. Really, is that what she said? How do you know?
Um uh you know, they Neil shared with Sage that Amy had approached him with romantic interests
Wow,
of a
that's
lewd nature.
she says. Really, um, she's really she's really gone off the deep end since last year. I mean, she used to be like Queen of Hufflepuff last year, and now she's chasing after Neil, of all people. I mean,
Well,
he has kind of grown up, wouldn't you say?
I wouldn't say.
Yeah. Um, I thought you said you were friends with Neil.
Yeah, and because Sage likes him, I have no opinion on how he looks. Thank you. Um, yeah,
Uh, Okay, sure. Wait, Sage and Neil?
you
Sage
didn't hear
likes
that from
Neil?
me.
Sage likes Neil? And as you leave, you can see like the rumor like
Dang it.
spreading before your eyes. Sage likes Neil. Oh my gosh. And people kind of like going around to each
Sorry,
other and stuff like that.
Sage.
As you walk off from like the burning building behind you, um, the rumor spreads like wildfire throughout the school for the rest of the day.
Trying to help Liv
But
ended up
accidentally,
spread a rumor about Sage. Well,
uh, um, is there anything
that's so
else you like to
awful.
do for that?
Um, just go study. At some point, I think Baz had something he wanted to do with Glenn, and Glenn also wanted to go back to the store to get that book on um trans more metamorphic.
Metamorphosis.
Yeah, that one. That part. Uh-huh.
Would
Don't
you
think
be
we can
going?
do much.
Would you be going with Baffleton?
Well, yes, because I need to know if he has money to actually get the book.
Okay, and I'll say yeah, he does. Would you ask him for the money, or you actually want him to go with you?
Probably go with me because I would want to go back to the book shop myself.
Okay.
So,
Um,
be a later thing.
as you guys kind of head there, that day,
I'm sorry.
As you guys kind of head there that day, is there anything specific you would talk to Baz about? Um, he probably would ask if you're okay, and after you kind of got upset about it a little bit when he asked if you were okay, he just kind of backed off and let you simmer.
Simmer down.
Yeah. But is there anything specific you would say to Bass or talk to him about as you're on the way there?
I would be so how is everything?
It's sorry, Corn. I'm gonna butcher your voice. Oh, it's good. How how are you?
As good as I can be right now, you know. Um,
I
are Sage and Liv and Neil and you all working on the vow at all?
I wasn't sure if that's still what you wanted to do. Is that still
Um,
what you want to do?
yeah.
Um, well, I know that Sage and Neil are working on it. I don't know about that I am.
Ah, okay. Well, okay. Sorry, I just thought you guys were, always together. So
I will say it because I don't want to play as Colton, but or bad. Sorry. I'll say he kind of clocks that, notes it, does the telltale thing where it's like Baz will
we'll
remember that.
remember that. Hmm.
And then you guys kind of head down to the shop. Um, as you go into tomes and scrolls, um, Gregory Hiddlesbottom is sitting there. Oh, hello! Welcome back to my marvelous shops of tomes and scrolls. How are you today?
Good. I'm good. Do you remember me?
Yes, you are the girl that came in last week and bought those 3 books. It was your first time. Am I wrong?
You are not wrong. That
Wow.
is I. I was coming to see if you might have still had that book on metamorphic. I cannot say that word.
Actually, I do. Did you still require it?
Yeah, yeah. My friend here is gonna buy it. Actually,
I'm here to buy the book, sir. Madison says. As he kind of throws some galleons on the counter, he says, "Wow."
just like.
Yeah, just throws it in the guy's face. um, he says, "Wow. Yes. 1 second, madam," and goes to the back of the store. You see some books behind you, kind of floating all through bookshelves, and coming from the back of coming from like the back room out into the shop, and like floating on to like empty spaces on the bookshelves and such like that. And then you see the man a couple seconds later come out. This is yours. Here you go, madam. And then he takes up the galleons. Basleton, you give the book over to Basleton, and he says, "Oh, thank you so much." Basleton says,
Yes. So Glenn is going to ask the shopkeeper. Um, so I know it's only been a few days, but I was wondering if you had gotten any other books from your book club.
"I have not. Sorry. The post has been very slow. Owls, they are the slowest birds in nature. Which now I'm wondering if they're the slowest birds in nature. Why are they the delivery service? Who knows? It's weird.
Inquiring
Um,
minds.
inquiring minds, my dear. Um, is there anything else that you fancy or that you're looking for? Maybe I have
I
something in the back.
I don't think so. I asked about all the odd bits of magic when I was here last time, and you haven't had any new books yet. So I'll just come back in a few weeks.
Yes. Come back in a few weeks. We get it about maybe every 2 weeks or so. Our books restock, so we'll hopefully have something in when you come back.
Okay, sounds
Um,
good.
you have a good one, madam.
Thank you.
Of
You
course.
too. And then
As you head out of the shop, make a mind roll for me, real quick.
and
Mind roll.
I forget the Ravenclaw ability. Is that like once per session or is it once per day?
I think it's once per day.
Cool. I want to use it now.
Like you would see kind of on as you guys kind of walk down this main street back towards the castle of Hogs back towards Hogwarts as you walk down the main street of Hogsmeade, you would see something kind of catch your eye on the ground. Um a little golden hand pin.
I'm going to cast Wingardium Leviosa on it.
And it kind of floats up and you pull it towards you.
I want to like inspect it before I grab
Yeah.
it.
Anything specific you're looking for?
If it seems to be magical in nature, and if it gives off any kind of vibe.
Make one more mind roll for me, madame.
Dang it. Okay.
To inspect.
2d plus 4. 10. Hey.
Inspect who? Um, you would see the tiniest drop of blood on like the bottom of the pin. It doesn't seem magical in nature. It's just sort of a decoration. If you just yeah, it's sort of like a little decoration piece. Um, or identification maybe. Um, but nothing seems odd about. Of course, it's odd that it's here, but nothing out of the ordinary except that tiniest drop of blood.
What is the badge? Oh, like what's on it?
So it's like, have you watched Game of Thrones?
No.
Damn it. Hold on.
But I could probably Google something.
And or I think it's House of the Dragon. The hand pin.
Okay, I think
Hold on one sec. Hold on. All right, I'll send it in the chat. One sec. Come on. All right, I just sent it. It's loading. Hold on. Looks very much like that right there.
and there's a drop of blood on the very bottom. Oh, that's spooky. Okay. Okay. All right. So is it exactly like that? So it's like made of the
Almost.
same material?
Yeah, it's golden. Yeah, it's exactly like that. Now that think about it, it's exactly like that.
Okay, okay, okay. Well, cool. Cool. Can I say I have a handkerchief or something?
Yeah, 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 we can wipe it off on your robe.
Y- Yeah, yeah, okay. That's what I want to do. I want to
Wipe it off on your robe.
No, 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 not
Um,
wipe it off. I want to wrap it up.
oh, wrap it up and put it in your robe.
Yeah.
Okay, you wrap it
Like I
up
want
and
to
just kind of pocket it in your robe.
It's
I'll
got
say for
somebody's blood on it.
Bass has one that he shrunk and put in as an earring. On one of his ears as well. Um, and you would know from Bass as well that this is from some member of the hand, whether they were here or somebody dropped it is really the question.
Okay.
Yes. But you pocket it, and I'm guessing head back to Hogwarts.
Yep.
Cool. Head back to Hogwarts, and I guess what else would you like to do?
I want to message Ozzy
Hmm.
and ask him if he wants to study with me.
You get a message back saying, sorry, I'm actually studying with some of my friends here in the common room. You can come here if you want."
Gwen's gonna go.
Glenn's gonna go?
Hmm.
Oh, sick. Um,
She's desperate.
you get back. I don't think you can go in the Hufflepuff common room though.
Well, I have to get there and find that out, huh?
Yeah, so I would say you head down to the um you head down towards the kitchens and past the kitchen and go to that big, not cellar, but it's like a wine cellar, and there's a huge barrel in front of you that you have to tap on a couple of times to open up. And you can see that one of the Hufflepuffs is like an older Hufflepuff walks out and says, "What are you doing here?"
I'm coming to see my brother. He invited me.
"You're not allowed in the Hufflepuff common room."
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
"Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude, but it's kind of a Hufflepuff only thing, you know. Like I wouldn't go to the Ravenclaw common room and try to get in there, you know.
Yeah,
I'd,
well, you
I'd just
probably
be weird.
couldn't, get through the password, but um okay, well, cool.
You're kind of like
Thanks for letting me know.
you're kind of like okay, uh, see you.
Glenn's
She,
like, walk. Yep. She's gone.
um, how was Glenn feeling after that?
Kind of embarrassed.
Of course,
Um and then also just kind of like, well, great. Even
uh,
my little brother doesn't have like I can't spend time with him. He's
yeah.
doing stuff.
Um, I have one more thing planned for this solo session, but is there anything else you would like to explore?
Um I want to go to the library
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of look around like all the shelves and um like go into like the parts of the library where like not a lot of people go. I just kind of want to search and see if there's like any hidden places in the library, like hidden study rooms or like just like an alcove with a table that like nobody knows about really or nobody really goes to.
Yeah, yeah. Um, make a mind roll for me. And don't worry, I know you wanted to acquire familiar, but I think I want to save that for group session.
Okay, I'm fine with that. 6.
Anywhere spec Are you trying to find a hidden passage to anywhere specific or just kind of whatever you find?
Just whatever. I'm just looking around.
You see that there is a fireplace that seems to be something on the other side as you're kind of like walking around looking for like hidden passageways or something. A fireplace kind of like in the middle of the library. It seems that there's something on the other side, but you can't quite make out what it is. Um, a Slytherin girl walks past you. "Are you all right? Are you mad?"
Does she
You're
mean
kind of
mad
like
as in
sitting
angry
next
or
to
mad
her.
as in crazy?
Mad isn't crazy.
Okay. Yeah, probably. Just mind your own business.
You see you hear from behind you. "Hey, bruv, what are you doing?" And it's Sam from Ravenclaw.
Let me see.
The kind of the one that uses all the UK slang. that you and Liv
Oh,
talked to
the
last
the
time.
like the streets boy. Okay.
Yeah. What's going on, bruv? You all right?
Yeah, yep, I'm fine. And Glenn's gonna like stand up and turn around, like, yeah, yeah, nothing's like happening here.
You know that fire could burn you, bruv. I mean, everyone knows that, innit?
Yeah, fire is hot. Uh-huh. Good job.
I mean, I knew that as well, both. Anyway, bruv, I heard that you were the person to talk to for tutoring.
Yep.
That
So
didn't sound confident. You all right?
I'm fine. Yeah, I'm great. You were you wanting to pay for these tutoring services? Is that
You have to pay for the tutoring.
well, if you're asking me, then yes. Otherwise, you can just ask a professor for some extra help.
But the person I need to ask is Professor Blackstone in potions, and I think we both know what that answer is going to be. And I don't have any extra galleons to give.
Well, do you just want to study for an exam coming up, or you have a project happening?
Well, you know Professor Blackstone's class, and it's very hard, and I just kind of want to get ahead and maybe plan out my year within potions, because I would love to be a potions master when I leave Hogwarts, but I kind of have to master the potions part first. Are
Well,
you gifted in potions?
am I gifted in potions? Not particularly. I'm all right. I know the theory very well, but you know, don't really have that many opportunities to practice outside of class. So, I mean, if you just wanted to study on, the herbs and the
I kind of need more of the practical part of potions.
well, you're gonna have to go find someone else,
Do you
unfortunately.
know? Do you know anybody?
Yeah, but I'm sure they're busy.
Oh, who? Maybe we can go ask them myself. I
Um,
do have a
uh,
certain charm about me, I do say.
well, it was Professor Blackstone.
Oh, uh, well then, I guess I'll have to take my chances on my own. Um, Also, don't burn yourself, please. That's very weird. You're like the only one in the lab. Everybody else is reading, bruv, and you're the only one that's looking at the fire like you're mad.
There's reason for my madness. Don't worry about it.
All right, I'll see you later. Have a good one, bruv.
Yeah, you too, bruv. And then
And,
Glenn's gonna be like as he's walking away, Glenn is like, "All right, Sam, hey,
yeah, and he kind of comes back over towards you. Yeah.
Christian Smith, third
Oh,
third
he's
year
the
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I heard that he's not bad at potions. You should probably ask him for help.
you. I mean, is there anything I should any advice you could give on how to get him to help me?
Glenn is going to like stand up and like dust off her robes or whatever, and she's like getting ready to leave and just say, well, nope, he's a Hufflepuff. You just have to ask nicely and smile, and he'll just be so happy to help.
He is pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah,
And then I'm
he could
gonna
probably
walk
help me out,
off.
bro.
I don't want to talk anymore about Christian.
And yeah, you head off. But you do not find any hidden passages in the library with that six. Um, Question: Would Glenn be
Answer.
taking any electives this year or anything? Any like classes that's not really needed?
Um, I had the list of the classes that I wanted her to do, but I can't remember. Can you tell me what the classes are again? Or
Yeah,
the elective classes?
yeah. Give me one second.
Just one?
Maybe two.
One? Two?
Maybe um hold on. Okay. Electives. So arithmancy, care of magical creatures, divination, muggle studies, and study of ancient runes. The extracurricular activities or studies are art, ghoul studies, magical theory, muggle art, muggle music, and xylomancy.
So arithmancy is like divination but with math, right?
Yeah,
Ancient runes is
ancient
runes.
runes.
Okay. Um, okay. So I would say Glenn would. Can I do one from each of those
What do you mean? Oh, from electives
things?
and extracurricular?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So from the electives, she would choose ancient runes,
Mm-hmm.
and then for the electives, did I say electives twice?
I mean for the extracurricular.
Extracurricular. Thank you. She would do magical theory.
Magical theory. Okay. Um, cool. So with these extra classes, you know that your days maybe doesn't start till like the next semester. But you do know once they start, your days will be a tad bit longer than everyone else's. Like in class, rather. So like everybody usually gets out of class like what 2:33. You might get out of class like 3:34. With these extra ones, but you sign up for those new classes.
Oh, the learning will do.
Yes. Question: while you're in the library, would Glenn be like solid mind made up on Obliviation or Unbreakable Vow, or would you actively look for another way?
I would be actively searching for other alternatives.
Okay. Make a mind roll for me with advantage.
Okay, okay. Please, Avery. Okay. Okay, okay,
Ooh.
okay, 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 okay. Hey,
Ooh. Hey, so you're taking the 10?
hey. No.
um, so one is you kind of go through the library and kind of figure out what you're doing or what you want to look for as alternate routes. You know that there is one, but it's one that's kind of iffy and risky and involves blood magic. Did you want to continue looking into that or no?
Um, are you saying that if I look into this, I won't find anything else, or should I
Yes.
just go look for other things? Um,
I would say, yeah, if you look into this, you won't find there's like this is kind of the only option you found so far.
so
But it
so if
does
I
involve blood in some way.
so if I say I want to move on and search for something else, would I find something else?
Not that I know. Honestly, all right, this is out of character. But do you know another way other than
Just
what
to
you
make sure
suggested?
to have a sure method of confirming, like you cannot. share this information. It's that. Yeah, that's it.
I I think so too, but give me a sec. Let me just see if there's
Or whatever
anything.
the thing. Okay, so Hunter mentioned something. He was like, "Oh, what was with the paper that Hermione had um in I think it was Order of the Phoenix?" But whenever they had Dumbledore's army, and
Uh-huh.
then she had everybody in Dumbledore's army sign their names on the parchment. Um, and whenever somebody revealed that or like shared information about the club, the word sneak appeared on her forehead and like pimples and boils and stuff.
Oh yeah. Let me
So
see what that is exactly though.
I don't know what type of magic that is and
I
if it
think
could
that'd
be
be more of
modified.
I don't think it's like a spell or anything. I think it's the actual parchment itself, which you probably get it like Weasley Wizard Wheezes or something. Hold on. Uh,
Parchment jinx. It was a jinx of some sort.
a jinx.
A jinx with an unknown incantation. That's it. So you could make up some stuff if you wanted.
Okay.
I will cut this little bit, post it.
Okay. Yeah, I would say that's an all right. With that 10 or 12, you do find that as an option as well, but it isn't something that you're not necessarily stopping someone from saying anything to anybody else. It's just they'll be embarrassed if they do.
See,
Um,
I
but
wanted
you
to
have to
know.
look and see if you could acquire that somehow, that Jinx paper.
So
Let me
it's
read what you sent. These ones, Hermione, please don't put apartment signed by D. Some all don't army members that any of them betray the group. Blows forming eyes on her face, across the cheeks and nose, forming the word sneak. Okay,
I wanted to know if that could be modified.
what do you mean? Oh, if you can like modify the incantation, like modify the effects.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
I will say Hermione did this as a fifth year though.
Yeah.
So it's probably a little difficult even if I did know how to do it.
Yeah.
Boy,
I'll give you a roll. This is gonna be a mind roll, but with disadvantage.
I wish I got those last rolls now. Glenn is not doing a blood pact with Neil. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's possible. Something that
Sh-
you might
sh-
be able to try to do.
Um, well,
Nice. Still pretty good.
thank you, Avery.
You do find the incantation. Um, it's called
You,
Jinxo Winkso.
no, sir. I should not have given you the opportunity to
Jinxo,
do
yeah,
something.
that's what it's called. Jigsaw Winkso.
Jinxo Winkso.
Yep. But you will have to roll with disadvantage when casting that spell.
Okay, so but in theory, I could like be like, okay, I Neil promise not to share this information or use it to hurt anybody, and then have him sign, and then I do the jinx on the parchment,
Hmm.
I don't want it to just say sneak because that's like that's whatever.
Well, that's what it is.
Let me find more details.
Okay.
But okay,
Get back
cool,
to me.
cool. So, I know Jinxo Winxo, and there's something about blood magic. Those are the only other options.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll have something to bring up to my friends then.
Cool. Is
Jinxo
there anything
Winxo's not
else?
gonna cut it.
No, it's Jinx. I Wink. So sorry. Um, is there anything else you'd like to do?
Ooh,
And I'll
and
say you can go ahead and add Glacius to your spell list as well.
thank you.
As we're kind of
Um,
running through everything.
okay. It's not even Madame Pomfrey could reverse the effects. So the cure for boils and the whatever pus that are usually effective for removing acne does not affect the gene. So it sounds like it would be very difficult to remove.
Yes.
Okay, I am also bloodthirsty. So that satisfies me a little bit more than just
Okay.
sneak.
Gotcha. Um, is there anything else you like to do?
Um, no, I think that's it for now.
When we come back on Sunday, it will have been a week that has passed.
Uh-oh.
Um, and just so everyone knows, um, just so everyone knows, Glenn has been isolated this week. Not really talking to many people. And everybody kind of asking her, "Is she okay?" Which is only kind of built it up a little bit more. Um, Neil and Sage have a decision to make, or maybe Liv or Embarrassment if they want to make that decision together. If it's going to be an Obliviation or an Unbreakable Curse. Not Unbreakable Vow. Sorry, not curse. Um, as we come back, but for today's session, we're going to end there. Um, you did a couple of things today. I know you want to get your acquire familiar, but I want to
It's
save
okay.
that for I want to save that for group stuff because I have a little plan of my own.
We did
Um,
plenty today.
what was your favorite part?
Um, my favorite part. Let's see. Probably talk with Neil.
Me
That's
too.
fun.
I was gonna say that was my favorite part too.
hmm
Um, Neil really seems committed.
Glenn doesn't care, and Glenn
Yeah,
also
I know.
doesn't see it as committed. She sees it as manipulative.
He's trying to do something. Yeah.
hmm
Um, and like you said, he's an information broker, so this is the kind of thing he thrives on. It's just up to the group and Glenn, if he's to be trusted as much as Sage trusts him. So we'll see. Um,
We'll see.
what
Whoop.
was Chat's favorite part of today's session?
Yes, we are escalating drama.
Yes, we are. Um, so I can just imagine like Glenn, and you could tell me if you don't think this is right too, Aaron. But I can imagine like everything that's gonna happen on or on that Tuesday, which is our Sunday, in game, everything that's gonna happen over this next week in game is gonna be like you're like turned up, you know what I mean? Um would question, this is out of character. Would Glenn have wanted somebody to come and like talk to her and check on her?
She probably would have been just as grumpy with them as she was with everybody else who asked her, "Are you okay?" But yeah,
Yeah,
she would have.
I thought so. And nobody did. Liv's Ember's favorite part was Glenn helping spread the rumor about Amy. Of course it was.
Thanks, Hunter. My favorite part was Glenn not taking shit from anyone, and it was fucking fantastic.
Yes. Amazing. Amazing.
Sage was respecting her space. See, but that's what's cool about this is
Yeah.
like you always have like a person's perspective. There's different perspectives on like everything. So while you were respecting her space, all Glenn
He
sees
took
is
it
they
as
don't care about me.
yeah. She took it totally different. I mean, and then if
That's
it was
cool.
me, if it was let's say if I was playing right, if Neil had if I'm Glenn and Neil had came up to me to talk to me, I would think that Sage said some shit to him to come in, but that's just the way that Glenn could have took it. Not to say that that's the way that it is, but you know.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, I told him. She said in her session that she was crying herself to sleep on the top bunk. That's why you heard the little rolling around and stuff like that.
Okay, okay. But I didn't hear any sniffling.
Yeah, I'll say if she was quiet. I'll say she looks.
She's
Yeah.
a quiet crier. Little sniffles.
How am I a shit stirrer? I'm just saying, like, there's that's what like Eric said. This is cool because there's so many perspectives of like different people interpreting it a different way. While Baz and everybody else could have, um, while Baz live and everybody else could have tried to be respecting her space. Glenn took it as like they don't want to talk to me. They hate me now. Like this sucks, sort of thing. And not to mention that I keep bringing up, Liv told Christian about some of this shit, and she hasn't said anything about it.
Yeah,
So
Glenn
we'll
doesn't know that.
see. And Glenn doesn't know that. Almost nobody. Maybe Sage can maybe guess a little bit, but other than that, she hasn't said anything. So
But
we'll see if Ember decides to pull that out the bag this week. Who knows?
Liv is a bit scared of Glenn. Don't be. Don't be. You don't have any reason to be.
I mean, if I was 13 or if I was 14 and I seen some shit, I'd be scared too. Shit.
Well,
Liv told Sage and Neil that she did.
yeah.
Yes, she did.
Yeah.
She did. So Sage, but that's when you see Neil had said, what happens if one of the other what happens if one somebody else from the group tells somebody, are we gonna obliviate them or
Make them do a vow.
yeah, make them do a vow too? And I mean, I think that's valid. Of what that's what Glenn has to figure out. Is she gonna
And
be
Glenn
this
was
like
like, yes.
dictator over the group?
But also, I feel like Glenn low key, well, actually, not even low. Well, no, yeah, more low key, doesn't feel the same way about Neil as she does about Christian, or about Christian as she feels about Neil. Like, Neil is very much an outlier. Christian, she just doesn't care for.
Like, yeah,
He's just like, oh, you hurt my friend.
it's almost like Chris. In my imagining of it, it's like Christian is like, okay, we know you're here. You're kind of part of the group. I just don't really like you like that, and we don't
Yeah.
have much in common. While Neil, it's like, bro, you just got here, dude. Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
You
Yeah,
just got here and you're trying to like you drive the show, run
yeah,
the show.
yeah. Christian's the crazy one. No, Christian tried to be nice to Glenn. Christian was trying to be all nice and cool.
It was first year though. Christian was I'm specifically thinking of first year where he was all wishy-washy.
Yeah, he
And
was
then
on bullshit.
second year he was up with Theo and he had all this information he wouldn't share with anybody else.
Yeah.
I meant to mention that in the talk, but it didn't come up good. So,
Oh, Christian has reasons.
mhm.
Christian has his
I'm
own
sure he
agenda.
does. But yeah,
Christian
Christian
has his
does
own
has
agenda.
been more involved in the whole everything than
Yeah,
Neil. So, yeah.
yeah.
So maybe Glenn will
I'm
go
the
off.
crazy
Maybe
one.
she won't.
Who knows?
You are the crazy one, Christian.
I love that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right.
All right.
So that was your favorite part though, right?
Yeah, that was my favorite part is that Neil talk. I think this conversation is gonna go very. It could go like it's so crazy because it could go like so many ways. It could go
I
left
know.
real quick. Um, if somebody says the wrong thing, which I think is amazing. And I love when I can just sit back and be like, "Go ahead, guys."
You just go.
Yeah, just go.
Just
I'll
have
just
fun.
be
Go
here.
play. I'm just
Yeah.
watching. Don't mind me. Watch
Uh,
them break up. Ooh. who? Watch who break up?
Neil and
Explain
Sage.
yourself.
Neil and Sage. Because he's dumb as hell and did the opposite of what Sage said. So
Oh,
I think I think Neil approached Glenn that way because Neil was also just so bent up about the situation and so pissed. So he came at Glenn the wrong way, but I don't feel like anything he said was left. Like he didn't say anything like to jab at you or pick at you or anything. It was just kind of like, bro, what the fuck are you on? You on bullshit. So
and Glenn was like, "I don't know what you think this bullshit is, but,
yeah, yeah,
you on some stuff, like, and I'm not gonna fall for it, okay?
yeah.
Either you're genuine or you're not. If
You
you
know you
are,
can
make the vow. If you're
you know
not,
you could
then
bring
I
into the
see
group.
this is what you're doing.
Sam is the unofficial member of the
You
occult tribe.
cannot just force somebody
There you go,
in.
bro.
No,
There you go, bro.
you cannot force them into this group.
Nah, I was just playing. Who is
We'll
Sam's
we'll
the
take
UK slang guy? Where you going,
we'll
bruv?
take the other guy, the Slytherin, the snobby Slytherin before we
Uh,
Charlie?
Charlie.
Yeah, we'll take Charlie before we take Sam.
Yeah.
Streetwise Gansby.
Sheesh. Ah, but that's all for today's session of Roll Magic. I hope you all are having an amazing day, week, night, year, existence. Um, we'll be back on Sunday for our group session. A lot of drama. A lot of drama is gonna be put out there, man. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a good time. We've also added some stuff in our about us. Please hand clap of applause for Liz for doing all of our stuff and all of our
Yes.
panels, and
She's
it looks amazing.
she's
Um,
crazy.
so if you're
Crazy
watching
good.
this VOD, crazy in a good way. If you're watching this VOD and you want to know some more stuff, just head over there to the About section on Twitch, and it should have all of our stuff um, that I slay occasionally.
Slay all day, man.
Very slay. Girl boss. But that's all I have today. As always, please spread love and Lumos, and we will see you guys next time. We are Audi 5000.
Bye.
Bye, guys. See ya.
I think
Can't go
we're
for it.